Hi everyone, we're starting in a few seconds. Testing, testing. Hi everyone, it's Nono here. Hi everyone, it's Nono here one more week, and I want to welcome you to my live stream on creative coding and machine intelligence. For those of you who are new, I'm Nono Martinez Alonso, and I produce this live stream where we do hands-on coding and overview of new technologies, and also produce and host the Getting Simple podcast, where we have conversation with people from eclectic areas, and I ask about their workflows, about their techniques, their habits, and how they understand life. And we also have episodes that are solo episodes where I share some of the experiments and things that I do. I would start today by asking you, as always, if you can hear me okay, if you can see me okay. And I would say today we have exciting topics, including taking an overview at DALL-E 2. This is OpenAI AI system, and also doing a live demo if we can. I've got early access to the beta for the past few weeks, and I've been experimenting a tiny bit with it. I think it's really promising, and as many of you know, there are other developments that Google is doing also, following the lead with systems like Imagen or Parti. All right, so let me do a quick check here. And all right, so we have people in the chat. So Jose Luis García Castillo is saying yay, sounds exciting. Sajay Kumarji approving that audio and video are good, and Will. So for those of you who have never connected, maybe let us know where you're connecting from and what you would like to learn from this live stream, because the topics are really open. And a quick note that I will do: if you go to topics.nono.ma, we have a brand new site that we showed last week. Let me quickly plug that in so you can get to access it. So topics.nono.ma, just press enter. And we have this site, which is using something called Canny to track the topics that you might suggest and have the community about them, right? So you can see people's topics, the topics that other people have suggested and about them, or you can come here and suggest a new one that you would like for me to cover on the live stream, or maybe produce tutorials or something. So right now we're just testing. We have here the planned, that is something that we might do today, but I'm not sure. And then the demo of DALL-E 2, that is what we're doing right now. All right, so getting back to the slide, now that you're here, and I will also say hello to Sodivius. Thanks for connecting. That I would ask you to support the channel by liking this video, and to make sure to subscribe if you want to get notified when I go live next or when I upload new videos. I've been trying to upload videos every Monday for the past 3 weeks. I'm not sure if we're going to keep that pace, but we're trying to get back at editing and releasing some videos. Okay, the Discord community. So we have that at nono.ma/Discord. You can find the invite or go to that QR code up there. There's many of the people who are in the chat right now, or all of them, I think, are on the Discord community. Sometimes we share extra content there, have conversations, people share new things and things they're working on. And we also announce when live streams or events are going to take place. Last week, we took a look at I introduced the topic site and also the community called Poll. So that is something I haven't mentioned, but I'll mention right now. And then we had an overview on text detection on macOS and iOS. That's a native feature that is implemented on the system and works really well. So really quickly, another announcement here, nono.ma/poll. And what you will get to is to this Calendly poll, where I'm trying to gather what times work best for certain people. So I can see Sajay just replied, and some other people. So I might add other times or maybe shift it to another week. But I'm trying just to gather a sentiment of who would be interested in joining a community call and what times work best for the different time zones. All right, so lastly, we're going to take a look. Okay, and as always, a reminder, you can submit voice notes as questions to the Getting Simple podcast at gettingsimple.com/ask. And also hello to Daniel Escobar. Thanks for joining us live today. Maybe you guys can let us know where you're connecting from. Okay, so what are we doing today? I mentioned briefly before, but the main topic of today is going to be DALL-E 2. This is OpenAI's machine learning system. I'm going to talk about it today. And if we get time, we might do WebSockets, WebJS, real-time collaboration, because we want to do that for the suggestive drawing collaborative app that we were building earlier this season. And honestly, if you guys are more interested today on DALL-E 2, I think we might just focus on that. That's what I've prepared the most for. And we can shift the WebSockets topic for next week, or if we have time today, we can do that as well. Hi everyone, it's Nono here, and this is an overview on DALL-E 2. This is OpenAI's latest text-to-image generation system, which I've been lucky to get early access to the beta in the past few weeks. So I've been playing around with it a bit, and today I'm gonna give you some hints on what this system can do, how the web UI looks like, and what you might be able to do with these tools regarding creativity or design, or just making some craft, or even maybe making images and image compositions from your own images or from simply text prompts that you have on the web. What you can see here is a little demo that I'll show in a second. So this is the user interface that you find as in any other website. Once you get your beta request approved, you get an email through which you can sign up, and then later I just put my email here, put my password, and then I get to this interface, right? The interface is pretty simple. You just have a text box. It looks like Google search, but instead of search, it says generate on the right. And you also have that surprise me button, which I haven't actually tried, and maybe we can try today. You can also, as you can see, upload an image to edit or to generate variations, and we'll see more on what that is later. But in a nutshell, with a prompt like this, these models let you generate images from text. That means that I can write a sentence. So for example, here we have this example that says, an impressionist oil painting of sunflowers in a purple base. That would generate in this current interface 6 different images, and then from those we can generate more variations or do edits, or maybe tweak a bit the prompt that we're inputting to get different options. Here I was writing something that came to mind. It seems like the exercise here is coming up with the best quote, right? But this is the process. You just say, okay, I want images of a mirrorless camera with E-mount lenses in a dark room, digital art. Digital art and other types are image styles that that DALL-E knows about, right? That were on the data set, and that it had been, or those had been captioned, and ensures that the image has some sort of aesthetic taste or aesthetic look. For example, if you just put photo or like bokeh photo, it would be a photo that has the contents of what you've prompted if the model knows how to generate those. If you say something like candy minimalism or digital art or 3D animation, the aesthetics of the generated image will change a lot. So let's go ahead and see some of the results. This is what that prompt brought me from DALL-E 2, right? So those are DSLR, or not DSLR, those are mirrorless cameras. I was trying to generate cameras that look like the Sony Alphas, which are the mirrorless cameras with E-mounts. And these look pretty good. I mean, some of them look like Canon or like something like that. But if you look at this one specifically, has this ring that is the color that you can see that recognizes the Sony Alpha 7 series cameras. And what you have on the right, I'm putting for some of them a QR code so you can read that with your phone, and you can see a page that DALL-E generates in which you can see this image shared by me, right? Okay, so next I generated a frog walking with a balloon digital art, right? It generated these things that look more like illustrations, maybe done with a tablet or maybe done with like oil or some watercolors. It wasn't quite what I was trying to look for, but they look really good, right? And then I put a frog walking with a balloon 3D animation. Note how from here that says digital art to here, I only changed 3D animation, but the style of the image generated changed a lot, right? Like it changed the image completely. So then I went and selected the top right image because it's the appearance of the frog as a cartoon or animation that I like the most, and set that as an image to work upon, right? So the original now, or the reference image, is the one on the top left. And what I did is I selected, and this I'm going to show later, I have recorded, I selected the balloon and added that part to the sentence. Instead of a frog walking with a balloon 3D animation, I wrote a frog walking with a blue furry balloon 3D animation. So I added the blue furry balloon and selected the balloon. And some of them actually look really well. I was looking for something like the image on the bottom middle, right? Everything stays the same except for the part that I've selected with the prompt or the context that I've written on the quote. All right, so this is what happens, as you can see on that QR code. I'm sharing an image, I'm making an image publicly available, and anyone can access through the link on that QR code. And you see how the reference original image is that with a frog and a red balloon. If you were to not do that selection for a local edit and then change the quote so it keeps the other context of the aesthetics, the frog that is on the bottom, this let me show first this. So this is what it will generate, right? Instead of this, it generates something like this, right? So see how different the results are if I prompt the image on the top left with like a selections to only change the balloon with the same sentence, a frog walking with a blue furry balloon, to if I prompted from scratch with that same sentence, right? The frogs are completely different. They have like some blue tone as well. And I think this is really interesting. All right, so here is a demo in which, let me see if I can go back and play that video. Yeah, so in this demo, I actually wrote the quote, I got those images, and then when I click edit, I select that balloon and add that blue furry part to the prompt, right? So I click generate, I wait for a bit, and then this is what we get. And what I did here is that I selected the image that I liked, I clicked on share and publish, and then that gives me a public link that I can share with you. I share it through that QR code that was on that page, and then we get to this publicly available page that I mentioned before, right? So this is a really cool process, which just by typing words and like making local edits, I can generate new images that didn't exist before. I mean, there's some knowledge that the data set and the model have about these images, but we're creating in a completely different way that wasn't possible before. And yeah, so I also tried with some other things. So the images that you can generate are super cool. So this is a spaceship controlled by a cute dog in sunglasses digital art. And these are, you can like them more or less, and you have the QR code there to the bottom left image, but you have to be with me that this is surprising and that you can get an illustration of what you were thinking in really high quality and really appealing graphics in like a matter of seconds. This is probably a more interesting experiment, right? This is what we're trying to do on the live stream, things that I'm more interested in. And this is when you select that part on the form where it said upload your own image. And what I did is I uploaded the top left image, which is my sketch of a Kanken backpack. And I asked DALL-E to generate different variations of that image for me. So from that prompt, it was able to understand that it was a sketch, that it had tones of red and black and brown, and that it was a sketch of a backpack with things inside, right? Which I think it's a bit mind-blowing because of the representation that I'm giving the network there is that a human has portrayed something, not even with a camera, just with like pen and watercolor. I've scanned it, and then I get these alterations of the same concept that for me, I mean, the only thing that I enjoyed is that at least it doesn't have my sketch style, right? The style in which I sketch, which is something that is probably not embedded or it doesn't quite understand. But we can see that we even have, it's a backpack, it's some way open, it has contents inside, it has some straps that you can hold it with. So I think this is quite impressive. And here we can see one. So you can go to the QR code and actually take a look at some of these images. And here's another experiment I did. I also uploaded a sketch of my own, a scan and edited, and I did a few rounds of manipulations, both with changing the prompt and local edits. And I ended trying to add flowers to the drawing of my box. The first one just gives me, so I upload the top left image. I generate different alterations of that. You can also see slightly different sketching styles, but really similar, shading in different styles. But we also have the concept of some scribbles outside of the drawing on some of them. It's a box, it's a broken box, and it also has labels or tags that are embedded on the box and some shading, right? So again, super impressive results. And yeah, so this is second iteration manipulation, right? So I actually go ahead and try to make some blobs on that top left sketch of a box, and I say that I want a box with sunflowers and daisies, right? That's the prompt that I did. And after I do that, I get this one among 6 I selected, and I tell it to give me more variations of it, right? So we get these variations from this sketch. It's variations of a sketch that I uploaded and manipulated with DALL-E, and then from that resulting image, I'm generating more variations, right? And I think that this one, for instance, is the one that I selected afterwards. I particularly like, because we start seeing not only the sunflower, but also some green color on the leaves and the tail. All right, so if we keep going, what I have here is just an overview. This is not DALL-E. This is the architecture of Imagen, which is a model by Google. And this is the architecture of Parti, which is another model at Google that I believe was released really, really recently. And what we can see here is that the architecture works in, I mean, this is simple to understand. Pretty sure it's really complex on the inside. How Google Imagen works, really similar to what DALL-E does, is you have a prompt, right? You have a text, and then you have a frozen text encoder model. You input that text into the model, so it gives you some text embedding, and then you take that into a text-to-image diffusion model. That is basically, we go from text to embeddings to an image that is 64 by 64 pixels in the case of Google Imagen. And then we have 2 different super resolution diffusion model steps that basically make sure that they add more detail, more texture, and everything that makes the resolution be 1024 by 1024, which is also the resolution that DALL-E is allowing us to download from the internet. Okay, and this is the encoding and decoding architecture of Parti, which I haven't taken a look at a lot, but it's also seeming to be a really promising network to generate images, right? All right, and that was a quick overview on some of the experiments that I've done, what DALL-E is, and what you can do with it in, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes or less. And I just wanted to let you know this is really promising. It's a breakthrough on creativity with AI. This is human and AI creations. And one of the main reasons why they don't release it yet to the public is because they're concerned of harmful uses of like pornography uses and some other uses that might be harmful for society or might create bias or harassment and other things that are not fun, right? So I invite you to apply for the beta, to like let me know your thoughts on the chat and on the video comments, and make sure to like the video if this is the type of content that you would like to see more and you want to support the videos that I'm doing here on the channel, and to subscribe if you want to get notified when I go live next or when I upload new videos. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. All right. Okay, so that was an overview. I just recorded an outro, so we edit that video and upload it as a separate video. I'm gonna take a look at the chat now. So yeah, insane. What? Thanks for your comments, Will and Daniel Escobar. Hello, Bea. Nice to see you online. And hello, Rob. The comment about the sketch. I mean, I was trying to see. I've tried different things to see what it can do, and there are examples in which you can actually tell it the tell it the style of a painter, for example, by DALL or by Matisse or by Picasso or other painters, and it does a really good job. We're gonna try it now live. And also, Daniel Escobar says, is there mask editing for DALL too? Yes, there is mask editing, and we're going to see it now on the live demo. And Will says, it's going to be so hard to control bad actors with this tech. It is. And I don't know, we're getting into exciting times, but at the same time, we're getting into dangerous areas, because this means that, I don't know, this is a cultural shift in which we are going to diminish the quality, so the value of people and creatives who actually were dedicating their time to create images and put thought into how to make them. I think for many of us, in me included, some of these illustrations, I cannot beat the machine. Like, I cannot get to ideate and make one of these illustrations in a matter of like just a few seconds, right? And I think it's gonna change a lot of stuff, but I hope that this allows us to create in better ways, and we find ways in which the bad users or the bad uses of this technology can be controlled. Do you have any other questions before we start with the second part and do a live demo? So, kind of a behind the scenes, I didn't put this on the presentation, but let me see if I can show you. New type of creative, prompt engineer. Yeah, I do think that that is what it is, right? Like, you're just like playing around with the prompter and seeing what you can come up with. Right, let me there is one note that I would like to do, that for DALL 2, let me just put this here. Yeah, so just a quick note on the terms and conditions. Even for live demo, they have a policy where you shouldn't be live generating the things, just in case something bad comes out of the model, because they can control everything that comes out, or whether it could be have bad repercussions or like people who see them, or things like that. So the thing what we're gonna do, I'm gonna do a live demo, but we're gonna do that. I'm gonna do it on the other screen. I'll show the UI, and I'll try to make sure that what I'm seeing is okay. Just use my judgment. Okay, so let me take a look quickly at this demo. All right, yeah, I can comment on this on video. I don't know why I didn't add this to the slides directly. All right, so some other comments here. Why did did you try any traditional architecture drawings like floor plans yet? Floor plan of a futuristic cathedral. Yeah. So they in the policy they even comment be cautious with like inputting things that are suggested on the live stream by viewers. That seems to be like a normal input prompt that we could use. We can try. So if you have prompts that you would like me to use, put them on the chat and I can use them if they're if they're reasonable. Okay, so let me continue here. So this is a quick addition to the overview. This is one of my uses that I'm going to show here, in which I created flowers for my collection, as you can see, as or like sketches of a box with flowers, right? Let's play this here, right? So you could see these are some boxes that I generated. And yeah, so I can go to the beginning of the video. Let me see if this, okay, and play it. So this is, I think, yeah, this is real time, right? So I'm inputting some text here. I say a hand sketch of a broken box with flowers, of a box with flowers, right? So I just do that. And here I'm masking, maybe this is what some of you were referring to on the comments. I'm masking parts of the image that I would like to contain flowers. That's, I hadn't seen any results yet when I was doing this, so I couldn't really know what was going to happen, right? So I'm just masking places and then I'm going to generate and I'm clicking there. The real process is that it takes somewhere from, I don't know, it might be 5 to 15 or 20 seconds to generate an image from what I've seen in my usage. And while that's going on, it shows you some prompts that have been curated or generated by the team of DALL-E, and they show you to give you also examples. Here it says, ask for mediums like crayon and dark paper, right? And these are the things that we're obtaining, right? Here I was a bit confused because I was not seeing any flowers, but the boxes were deformed in some way. So I think what I did here, I continued testing. So I get this one and I click on edit. I do another masking. And I think what I do now is that I make a prompt that is a bit more detailed into what, in seeing what I want. And I just put there a drawing of daisy and flowers, or daisies and flowers. The syntax is wrong in there. And I don't write anything about a box in that sketch, but we have the input image with the masks where we want the flowers as an input. So what the model does is that it tries to keep the context that it has been generated before on basically containing the drawing of that box and then injecting content in there. Luckily here, we did get something that looks like sunflowers, like that dark area in the middle, and then some petals around it or some other area. And what I went on to do is, first I saved down my collection, and then I clicked on variations. What variations does is it tries to probably get the embeddings of that image and then tweak some parameters on the model. So it gives you images that are aesthetically similar and also makes sense regarding the diffusion model to have the contents of your original image, right? I don't know how that works in terms of the architecture because I haven't seen anything, but this was really promising, right? Again, here we can see that the sketching style of the box and the representation is changing, but we're getting semantic meaning on the image. Now we do have something that looks like a sunflower in there, right? And I don't know what I do here. I don't know if I just download that or what we do here. So I click there, I click on variations again. So again, we're gonna generate now more permutations that look more alike having a flower that comes out of a box, because that's what I've picked, right? Out of the options that we had. And just a note, this is, okay. So, and these are the results, right? These keep getting better, so you can continue refining the things that you want. And again, we're getting more and more far away from the input style, right? the sketching style that I have on my drawing starts getting distant and distant, but we get closer to the representation of the thing that we wanted, right? That does look a lot more like a sunflower. Yeah, so I think let's try that. So again, if you have ideas, put them on the chat, put prompts. We're gonna try that now. And okay, so I do have here another video that I think I want to show. Let me see. Okay, so the backpack uploading is not too exciting. Yeah, and these are images that I generated. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is, so first I'm gonna take a look at something here. Okay, so let me open here, and you know the easiest thing that we can do. So let me okay, so I'm gonna record an intro slide as we did before, and we're gonna get started with the demo. And again, if you see me when I start putting prompts, like I have the chat here, so I'm gonna be trying some of the ideas that you're giving me on the chat. Okay, so hi everyone, it's Ono here, and this is a live demo to DALL-E 2. This is one of the latest OpenAI machine learning systems that works on a web browser, and I got early access to the beta version. So I'm going to show you now how you can manipulate images, or you can generate images from text prompts right on the browser just by typing some words, maybe uploading an image or doing some manipulations. All right, let's dive right in. All right, so once you log into labs.openai.com, this is what you get on the front screen. I can go to my private collection here up top and see the images that I've saved that I liked from things that I've previously generated, right? You can see here an old calculator, candy minimalism, and then these ones that are variations of my own sketches. But if we go back to the main screen, we can type things in here to generate images and see what they are. All right, so how this would work, I can write here, and I'm taking prompts from people who are connected live right now. Floor plan of a futuristic cathedral, architectural drawing, right? So we click on generate. So we click on generate, and after a few seconds, we're gonna get the image here. So I'm hiding the image until I see what we're getting back. And I'll be doing this process over the next few generations just to be able to judge by myself if there is something that we shouldn't be showing in there. All right, so these are those images that are generated with a prompt, a futuristic, so floor plan of a futuristic cathedral architectural drawing. And yeah, I don't know, maybe you can judge better than me, but this does look like a plan of a possible cathedral, right? And we can click here up top and see some variations. All right, so these are the results, right? You can see that they do seem to have a lot of context awareness. So, for example, I selected one that had this big dome here in the part of the cathedral and some other entrance. And we can see that that element is now present on all of our variations and some of the other contextual things, right? Like having some rectangular part adjacent to it. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think this is pretty good, and maybe we can try direct manipulation. But let's try direct manipulation with another object. All right. So the new prompt here is gonna be draw an image of a cat from the right, left, and top view. Right, and we click on generate again. All right, this is pretty exciting. I mean, it does know about the concept of views, right? As you can see in here. So we're getting, I mean, it's not exactly what you expect, but it seems like it's getting some concept of the views, right? So if we change here, for example, if we just say of a dog instead of a cat, let's see what we get. All right, and these are the images that we're getting for dog, and it does seem like it's understanding something from that contextual or like the prompt that we're putting into it. All right, so let's try something else. Let's try direct manipulation or like masking the images. So we're gonna put here as suggested global warming conveyed with an ice cream cone. Digital art. So here in the chat, Daniel is asking what the maximum text length that can be fed is. I honestly don't know. I haven't tried, but probably a lot. Like I don't think there is a necessary limit, but it probably can't feed every single detail that you put on the image. All right, so here we have that image of global warming conveyed with a melting ice cream cone. I know that Rob had put some image here, right? So Rob was sharing this image on the chat, which is I think, a better illustration of that. But this also has like the world in there, right? So if we want to make this different, like we could say here, we could go and say global warming conveyed with an ice cream cone, a blue and green planet globe, and a dark background. And we can add their trees just in case that works. Okay, so this one is not as appealing, right? I'm not sure why, but it went a bit more like cartoony instead of like a realistic image. Maybe we can put here 3D visualization or something like that. Let's see what that yields us. As you can see, it's super impressive, but still, if you want to do quick iteration, it's still not super fast. And you have to have this back and forth process with like thinking what you want and then seeing the results, evaluating, and then going into changing the prompt. All right. Yeah, I don't know. These are words. So maybe it's not exactly global warming conveyed with an ice cream cone. So let's just put that more simply. Global warming conveyed with a melting ice cream cone. Yeah, I think this one is a bit more uh kind of like an ad or something. And it's just an ice cream cone. This one has the globe there. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, let's. But yeah, there's like endless possibilities. Let's try. Um, so let's try, for example, in the style of a painter, right? So for example, we could do a dog walking uh, on the grass among the trees by. Okay, so forgot the name. So Edward Hopper. That's a painter I really like the style of. So let's try and take a look. Yeah, so I think what's really interesting is we're having here a collaborative back and forth session, and we're all trying to create to make the AI come up with what we want, right? We have something in mind that we want it to give us, and these are the things that we're getting, right? All right, so here I do have the Hopper style um, drawings, right? And one thing we can do for direct manipulation is like maybe we do like this part, right? So this drawing with like some parts of it. So we can click on that image, and I can now go into edit. So I'll just zoom in here. So I click on edit or variation. So first let's go for variations and see what it generates for us. Okay, this is really nice. All right, so this is a bit more on the style that I was thinking it would do. So this is impressive because you get to generate images according to your prompt, and then when it proposes other images, it seems like as if it refines them to make them more appealing. And I honestly I think these are quite amazing. I'm gonna save these ones. I'm actually thinking of making some prints for myself of these creations. So let's do direct manipulation now. Right, and here I have the prompts that Rob was asking for. So this is like a hot sauce bottle with the shape of a fire extinguisher, and we have this other one here, five spice. This seems like Heinz, right? So I don't know. And here, I don't know. So let's try to do something here. So if I click on this one and I ask for variations, let's see what we get. But what I'm gonna do is I really like this one, for instance. So I'm gonna go and make variations. I could do variations of this one again, so we can keep going and always selecting what you like and try to create more and more variations until you get to something that you like. And yeah, and this I'm gonna click on edit because I want to edit some of these parts. And let me quickly see this. All right, so here are my variations. You can see that with the prompts that I'm giving DALL-E, we're not getting anything that is a big concern regarding privacy or harassment or bias, but some people could directly go there and write things that you don't want to see, or things that by mistake the network understands as something different, right? So these images, so we're getting this one. Honestly, I don't like the manipulations more than what we had, so we're gonna go with this one. I'm gonna so what is this doing? So this is, so I could just open that and maybe this one as well. So I'm gonna save them to my library and share that publicly. So if I share that, I'm gonna put a link on the chat so you can open that one so you can see what the UI looks like in case you copyright considerations though. So what do you mean with copyright considerations? You mean Heinz, for example, the design of Heinz, in terms of there, or like this image in terms of so why is the comment of copyright considerations though, Rob? Okay, so we do have axonometric. Oh wow, okay, so that I like that one. Axonometric view of the solar system. Yeah, no, I understand it's licensing and copyright, but are you talking about the images that we're generating in general, like making prints, or like the sort of Heinz logo that we saw generated here? So what would be yeah, I mean, and that is a discussion that is also happening with Google, no, with GitHub's Copilot, because people are now saying that this is being trained with GPL coded license code, and that might be a concern because that is supposed not to be something that you should do. This UI is really nice. Oh yeah, no, that for sure. I mean, this is already happening. Like, I'm not sure what criteria they used, but we can change our prompt, and instead of it saying Edward Hopper, we could have it say something else, right? Like we could, yeah, akan kayak going down a river under the sunset by Edward Hopper, right? So, oh, raise an area to edit. Okay, so well, maybe that's an idea. Let's just try to do it here. So let's see if this actually adds that context to our image. So I'm prompting a kayak going down a river under the sunset by Edward Hopper, right? And I'm selecting that I want that image to be filled in here. So I'm going to generate that on the side. Another would be like seeing if it can generate diagrams for putting things together. What type of diagrams are you talking about, Daniel? This is what it gave us. This is the axonometric view. Let me see. Architectural diagram. Grayscale. Like a flowchart. Yeah, you probably can do. I've tried with making UIs. All right, so here's our Edward Hopper creation. So it's adding a kayak, but it doesn't really, it doesn't really paint the water. But I think that is pretty cool. Okay. Okay, let's put here Andy Warhol. All right, so Andy Warhol. That's it. Let's generate here. And okay, so let's close a few things. Okay, so we have this image and this one. So let's try generating something out of this. And yeah, so what if like something maybe like Legos or IKEA? What if a voice, and then Rob says, what if a voice AI could mimic a singer's tone style and generate an infinite number of songs? That would reduce the value of the uniqueness of the singer's tone and style. That is actually what I was mentioning before. Like, I think the value of creation is going to be diminished a lot the more we automate these things and find ways to automatically generate it, because we're not going to see that it's worth to pay somebody to make an illustration like this one, or maybe an artwork, if people are just going to consume it on their phones, if it's just like to put on a website, right? So New Yorker or New York Times could simply make all their covers with DALL-E or Imagen, for example, right? And not pay somebody thousands of dollars for each image or whatever they pay. Okay, so we've generated this one as well. So this is the isometric of or axonometric view of the solar system. I do think this one is pretty nice. And I'm going to save this. This one is cool. So it seems like this doesn't save the titles if I click afterwards. All right, so these are definitely getting that better, right? So you said this one is awesome. So you like the these type of diagrams? Okay, so let's do here isometric view of a spaceship of the future, grayscale architectural diagram. Yeah, I'm gonna try here. So let me put these things to the side. Yeah, I see you guys like architectural stuff. Okay, so let's see. So this is what the bottle turned into. Andy Warhol. Doesn't make any sense, right? But we could now maybe draw something in the style of somebody else. Like we have infinite possibilities here. So for example, golden things like are really nice. So let's see, for example, isometric. Let's try to mix some things. Isometric view of a museum with golden objects and dark background, digital art. Let's just mix things there to see what we get. And this is the spaceship or of the future, right? Architectural diagram. Not sure. Yeah, so okay, so this is our museum with golden items. So this is a way in which we could manipulate this, right? So we could say, okay, here for example, let's say here I put this and I say Eiffel Tower, gold. Aha. All right, so we are not able to do anything else. You've reached the limit of 50 requests per 24 hours, which helps ensure others can experience DALL-E. Please try again in 14 hours and 45 minutes. Okay, the fun is gone for today, I guess. Well, I will keep this one as my favorite. You can see it being influenced by the architectural diagram part more than spaceship here. An optical illusion of a 3D sculpture would be cool to see if it can generate art, maybe some texture. Yeah. So maybe I'm glad that we could play with it for a bit at least, right? So yeah. So I guess this is the demo for today. Okay. All right. Thanks for watching. This was oh, this is not the this is not it. Okay, let's try. Let me try just making a quick outro on this, and then we'll wrap up. Well, we have time maybe to do other things. All right, it was Nono here. Thanks a lot for watching this live demo. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave any comments on the chat if you enjoyed it, and make sure to like the video to support the work that I'm doing here on the channel, and to subscribe when I go live next or when I upload new videos. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you next time. Okay. So yeah, so I mean, this we were talking about WebSockets to see WebSockets, but I think this is being enough. for the day. I think we've had a lot of fun. And I've also tried to capture all of the markers live as we were doing in previous live streams. So maybe now that you're here, what are your thoughts? Right? What are your thoughts on what we've seen today, on these things that we've generated and the UI? We didn't even get to upload an image, so maybe we need to demo early next week again. What do you think of these things? Yeah. So Daniel is saying that he's finding it fascinating that these models are getting better at blending things semantically. And yeah, I think it's crazy. Like, first, the style that these things can get, like, they can portray Hopper style or Andy Warhol or other things super super nicely. And the content, like, they know about trees, they know about landscape, about objects, about drawing styles, about dogs, spaceships. It's everything that you can see on images and text, like, they know about. And I think they can just get better and better. And I think for me, the main worry is that it's like we haven't been used to have the machine be so much better than us at doing all of this creative composition and like craft tasks, right? It's not only about the composition, it's about coming with the arrangement of the objects and how to draw them really, or how to take a picture, or how to visualize things, and make variations so quickly semantically without having to use any software. Like, we don't have to use Photoshop, we don't have to use Maya, we don't have to use Unreal, we don't have to use 3D tools or visualization tools, anything. Or even buy a camera. You can generate an image of an orange or like a cookie or something just with a text prompt that is like nothing in terms of data or thinking, right? So yeah, I think we're just gonna continue seeing more and more of these things, and it's crazy. One tip that I found, if you lose, because after a while your session history runs out, right? And you can't really see more than what you have in here, right? So one tip I found is, like, if I go here and I simply put Edward Hopper, I can see the URLs of the things that I actually generated. So these ones are for editing. Let me see. These are for editing. So let's put here dog. And we can go back to those images, right? So this one, for example, the one that we got, I think, is this one. Yeah, and this is our prompt, right? So I can save this page, and I think this stays there. So if I open the ones that I generated this morning, yeah, right? So a bokeh effect, or like this palm trees. Oh, this one was particularly interesting that I saw. A car sliced in two over a red background photo, right? So this is awesome. I don't know what to make out of it, but it's super nice. And yeah, so we have this other one here, and we can save this one as well. I'm gonna save all of these ones. I really like them. Okay, Rob says, also think that it could serve as autocompletion of a portion of a larger collection of work. For example, a designer creates a portion of an emoji set and AI like this offers suggestions for the remaining. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like digging or searching into a repository of things that can be generated by giving it an input. And for me, if I have the one of my backpack, let me see. No, I don't have it here, but I do have the video. Yeah, so the thing is like you're inputting an image and it's like if in Google search you search by similarity, but this is actually not searching, it's generating it from the latent space, right? This one is awesome. This one is pretty cool. Dalmatian. Well, this is my favorite. Okay, done for that. So okay, so I'm gonna make a really, let me see if I can do that. What is this doing? Okay, I'm gonna make a really quick break, and I'll be back. Maybe we just do an outro, but I want to take a look at some things before we go. Let me see where this is. Oh, I've closed everything. Mm. All right, so let's take a quick break, and I'll be back. All right. Cool. So let's continue for the last stretch of today's live stream. So I intended to cover um, DALL-E 2 and then maybe take a look at WebSockets and YAS and real-time collaboration. This plays a part on the larger project of suggestive drawing and a collaborative interface. I see a comment from Rob that asks, where do I see, so maybe I can put this in here. So the taxonomy of these suggestive drawing bots, right? And, I think the DALL-E is like a complete generator on the sketching project from scratch. But I think, for example, Sketcher and Texture are good examples of prompts that you could give it to generate drawings. Here, what it would do is maybe you input the outline and then we would ask it to give us some texture of the colors or something like that for texture, or like the drawing etching of a sketcher. Continuator maybe could be also like a thing, like we draw maybe a tree trunk and then we ask DALL-E to give us the leaves and the foliage. And yeah, I don't know if I see others from here. So maybe there is one that is like, DALL-E should be here as one more that is just a text to image prompt. But I can imagine there would be one new one that basically whatever you have drawn, you have variations. And it can be just like variations that it gives you or variations according to a prompt as well. So yeah, DALL-E 2. What did I say? I don't know if I said, why did you write DALL-E 2 there? Great perspective. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think there is space for many other possibilities in here, but that could be explored. And I guess like that's our task with the suggestive drawing project. All right, so let's take a quick look at some of the things that we might be able to do next week. Maybe gather, because I did have here on Notion a few notes that have to do with WebSockets and real-time collaboration. So we did these two, right? So we did these two topics and we covered DALL-E today, which is great. And I had said for today that we might also take a look at hands-on, like a real-time collaboration, introduce WebSockets, a hands-on prototype with WebSockets. And I think this might have to be postponed for next week. But we can take a look. So we can take a look because I want to prepare. I want to take a look at the concept of like real-time communication and WebSocket and WebRTC and YJS, and I have links here. So would you consider this completed? I think we did it, and maybe we can move it. How can I move this? Complete. All right, so we covered this. Well, we don't need to add more stuff here. All right, so WebSocket and WebSockets in TypeScript. I do have a video actually, WebSockets. Let me see if I find my own video because I have an example in. I think it's on the live repo. Yeah, so that would be something we can talk about, like how this changes what I did when I proposed my thesis project. Okay, so when did we do that? That was like a while ago. Add YJS React TypeScript app. Okay. So these are things I'm gonna take a look at offline really, but we can take a look at what we did here. Right, so here we had a server, so this is YJS started TS. Okay, so this is live stream 43. Right, so we do have this covered before. This is, and yeah, so this is probably the 43. Okay, let's go to that folder. So folder for live 43. All right, so if we're here, we go to the folder 43 and we do yarn install and yarn start. Let's see if that works. Couldn't find the package JSON. Okay, what's in here? Okay, the YJS starter, and then we run that. Okay, so I'm simply trying to rerun something that we have on from a previous live stream. And how to create the starting app. All right, so the only thing that we did here was this, and then we added some code. We created a new React app that we call YJS started TS with the TypeScript template, and we installed YJS, WebRTC, and Y protocols. So this was to use WebRTC with YJS, not really WebSocket, but so WebRTC also needs a WebSocket server for clients to find each other. And I think every time that we load a window, add value. Okay, so this, every time it adds the value. All right, so this was in some way wasn't working perfectly. I'll stop it, but we have something to start with, or at least I have something to take a look at. So we're gonna look at 0043 YJS starter TS, and that is here. Okay, so just not to make this super long, thanks everyone who has attended today. So I'm going to make an outro now, and we'll finish. We'll wrap up. I'll try to prepare some of the contents for next week offline, so I don't bore you today with things I don't know where they are. I hope you like the new slides that we have on the live stream. I was trying the new version of Keynote that has some nice animation backgrounds and stuff. So anyhow, it was Nono Martinez Alonso here. Thanks a lot for watching. I would encourage you to like the video, to support the channel and the work that I'm doing here. And if you're not yet subscribe and join the community to get notified when I go live next or when I upload new videos. You can join the Discord community. Something went bad here. I don't know what happened there. You can join the Discord community at nono.masa's Discord. And yeah, thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you next time. I really, really, really appreciate for those of you who were connecting with us online today. Bye.